Welcome to Nordic Culture Point. My name is Annika Nummelin. I work here with events, but Nordic Culture Point is also grants to culture projects in the Nordic region. I'm very happy to see you all here today. The topic that we are discussing today is to give more opportunities for literature in the Nordic region. I think I will give the word forward to Mikael Höysti. Welcome.
Thank you. Just get my glasses. And I'm prepared because I have a slight flu and also allergies are still already getting to bother me back in Copenhagen where I live. The spring is a little bit further on there. Ladies and gentlemen, and dear distinguished guests, participants of this seminar, I would first like to thank the organizers for inviting me to this seminar. It's an honor and a privilege. I'm head of department for culture and resources in the Nordic Council of Ministers in Copenhagen. That means that I, among several other things, work with the realization of the political priorities of the Nordic Ministers of Culture from 8 countries, including Faroe Islands, Greenland and the Åland Islands. As you may know or not, the Nordic cooperation is one of, or if not the oldest regional cooperation in the world. The cooperation consists of many sectors and areas, such as gender equality, environment, finance, law, education and, of course, culture. The key actors in this cooperation are the Nordic Council of Ministers, the Nordic Council, that is the cooperation of the Nordic parliaments and parliamentarians. The Nordic Council of Ministers is the intergovernmental cooperation for the Nordic countries. And then, of course, the Nordic Cultural Fund. All of these are situated in Copenhagen and work in the same building. The Nordic Ministers of Culture have agreed on a common strategy for the Nordic cultural cooperation, stretching all the way to year 2020, and that is what you have in your hand. The folder is our strategy, so you can read there of the 5 strategic goals and what we are trying to achieve. There are some things from the strategy I would like to point out and stress, but it aims that all citizens of the Nordic countries should be able to feel that they belong, that they have an opportunity to participate in the cultural life in the Nordic region. This cooperation promotes openness and inclusion and reflects the diversity in the Nordic community. It also strives to get a better or greater understanding of languages in the Nordic region. These are wise and good objectives, in my opinion, but what does it mean for real? In this occasion, it's also important to stress or mention that the fields of culture and education were the first subjects for the official cooperation between the Nordic countries. Language and literature has always been a unifying force in this cooperation. And that can be seen in several ways, but we actively support the exchange of literature between the Nordic countries by, for instance, translation grants. We fund the 2 Nordic literature prizes. One of them is the Nordic Council Literature Prize for youth and children's literature. And we have also, during these last years, tried to boost the Nordic children's and youth literature by a special program, including activities by children and youth themselves. We try to promote intercultural projects, for instance, via grants from the Culture and Arts program that is administrated here by the Nordic Culture Point here in Helsinki. These are a few examples of what we do, but the truth is we could do much more when it comes to promoting openness and diversity. As our countries here in the Nordics are becoming more and more multilingual, and many writers are living in Nordic countries, are writing in other languages than the Nordic ones. We face new possibilities but also challenges. One challenge might be the narrow focus we often have on the Nordic languages. For natural reasons, we have favored the Nordic languages, but the time has maybe come to look at whether we are exclusionary in our approach. A publication called The Challenging Debate, that's Den utmanande diskussionen, The Challenging Debate, that's my translation, was published in 2012 before the book fair, or to the book fair in Gothenburg. And this debate book, with articles from different writers, tackled the theme of culture, policy and identity. In one of the articles, Arni Thor Sigurdsson noted that culture can be seen as a sense of community, but that this sense is based upon a common language. Is this really so? And should it be so? The mentioned strategy for the cultural cooperation in the Nordic countries is being evaluated this spring to see if there is need for the adjustments. And I, for one, will be making sure that challenges, conclusions, and possible solutions from today's seminar will be brought into this discussion of the future of the strategy. It is most certainly not a question only of a linguistic dimension. For me, it's also about stimulating the desire for creating and to use language creatively and to give people the opportunity to take part in different forms of expression. Norden, the Nordics, are rich in many ways, in ways of seeing and understanding the world, rich in paradoxes, and rich in languages and identities. But we know that the reality is that very few authors in the Nordic region with a different ethnic or linguistic background, other than a classical Nordic one, have published works or enjoy greater publicity. They are not seen. The lack of this diversity means that there are a lot of voices that can't be heard, and this is not only a pity, but it's also a real challenge for us all. It's my hope that everyone will contribute even more to develop the Nordic cultural life, so that it better reflects the cultural and linguistic diversity that is out there. So for this day and this seminar, I'm looking forward to a fruitful discussion and debate, and I hope you have a good seminar, and I'll be enjoying it a lot, I'm quite sure. Thank you and welcome.